Alrighty then. Well, if you are watching the replay, go ahead and fast forward 90 seconds, give or take a second or two. What's up, Donnie? Let's rock and roll. I'm excited. Today's a good show. Today's gonna be a good show. Yo. Go ahead and start those hearts if you want. Let me get YouTube pulled up so I've got that covered. Come on. There we go. We go Prime. Book is... Oh, man. He hasn't even touched... This isn't even the tip of the iceberg of his Prime. Oh, I can't wait. What's up, Crispy? 2D. Switch Account Creator Studio. Here we go. We'll start about 45 seconds. I'm not going to waste your time. I want to get talking. NBA Vote, baby. Do those every day. Live streaming now. I want to make sure that we are public and not private because sometimes that happens. We're going to start about 23 seconds. The Better Business Bureau gave Big Baller Brand an F rating. Is that for... I want to know, is that for real? We are now public. Perfect. What up, Big Chief? That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, man. That makes me so happy. I don't know why I am so capitalistic, and that makes me so happy. Alright, so we are 90 seconds in. Welcome to Valley of the Suns Live, the weekly edition. My name is Adam Mings, your host, your site editor, and your friend in the sun. So real quick, if you're watching on Twitter and Periscope, can you just tell me, how's my voice sound? I've got it set up a little funky right now. I just want to make sure that I sound okay. Do I sound muted? Do I sound audible? Am I good? Am I good? Please tell me my voice is good. Beautiful. Alrighty then. Well, then let's just get started. So, you know, the topic surrounding the Suns, kind of the broader topic. We're going to get into some specifics. I'll let you know right now. We're going to be talking about Bender's big game. We're going to talk about Josh Jackson's big game. We're going to talk about Chris's injury. But I got two really big, broad topics. Oh, that's the hive. I love it. I got two really big topics I want to discuss. And please, if you can like, retweet, share if you're watching on YouTube. Nice to see you. I can talk to you there as well. So don't just think that because I'm manually looking at questions and comments and so forth on Twitter and Periscope that I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at you. If you chat over here on YouTube, I will answer. Oh yeah. I've been thinking of doing that for Bender and Josh Jackson, but I've really just been focusing on Booker. I've just been focused on Booker. He's the most likely, but believe me, it will not be a day in the far too distant future when we are hashtag NBA voting for TJ Warren and Dragon Bender, and who knows, Josh Jackson very well, could be as well. So I want to talk about two broad topics. Let's step away from the micro for a moment and let's talk macro. Playoffs? You talking about playoffs? How was that? You know that was good. So, we all want it, of course. I know that not everybody wants it this year for certain obvious collegiate reasons, but we all want the Suns in the playoffs. It's been 8 years too many, or at least it will be. Well, we're going to talk about trades, don't worry. It will be presumably 8 years since the Suns will have made the playoffs, if presuming they don't make it this year. And I'm not going to lie to you. I hope you all saw the post I wrote this afternoon. Excuse me. I hope that you guys read it. If you haven't got a chance to read it, we're going to discuss a little bit. Actually, let me get some of the stats up. I have it right here. I don't have it right here. I got to open it up real quick. So I have some stats. It is a tough road to the playoffs. It is a very tough road. I'm going to have those stats for you in a second. For starters... the Suns play more games on the road by 2, but 21 road games this year, in the final 40, than 40. Than home. Suns closer to the number 1 pick than the other playoffs. This is true. The Suns are closer currently to the number 1 pick than the playoffs. So I want to just look over these stats. Suns still have 4 games against Golden State. They still have 2 games against Houston. They still have 2 games against Oklahoma City. They still have 2 games against Cleveland. They still have 2 games against the Clippers, who are 9th right now. They still have a game against Boston, Detroit, Miami. They still have a game against Milwaukee. They still have a game against San Antonio. They have a lot. Great game, man. Great game last night. It was amazing. We're going to be talking about that, I promise. They have It's just going to be a tough road. They have 11 of their final 40 games. That was too easy. I mean, they shocked Oklahoma City. Honestly, watching that game, OKC thought they were going to just slip in and slip out. They thought, this is going to be quick. We're going to take the win and leave. And they came underprepared. Now, a solid point that's been made is that the Thunder have no bench. But, still, they got 3 superstars who can each score 20 points. So, did not realize what. Oh, well, I mean, I know why, because they were done. They were out of it. In fact, I tweeted at that point, I was like, all right, their big three's out. Why are Booker and TJ still on the lineup? Get them on the bench. They should have played 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. That's it. So, the Suns play 11 of their final 40 games against teams who are currently in the top 3 of either conference. Which, right there, that's a little over 25% of the remaining schedule are against teams who have winning records. Well, it doesn't matter what the records are. Of course they have winning records, but who are top 3 in their respective conferences. They do have 25 of their final 40 games against teams that are currently 500 or better. I think this book, man, he helps us. Oh yeah, no. I'm going to talk about this next. I'm going to move this up. Gambo had a couple points today, and I tend to agree with Gambo a lot. I disagreed with him a lot about the Suns today, and I'm curious if he truly meant this. I mean, I think he did. Not that he would ever, I think he's a respectable enough broadcaster to not try to make stuff up, and just for ratings or conversations sense. And he and his partners talked about it before. But I disagreed with him a bunch today, and I got his point, but I did wonder, I was like, ooh, is this real? If he is not on court, Booker will not win. Well, yeah, no, it certainly takes 2 to tango. I mean, you need at least 2 guys to be able to score. Obviously, you really need 3 to win and 4 to, compete for championships. So they got 2. They're halfway there. So they have 25 games left against teams that are 500 or better. Right now, the Suns are 36%. They've got 16 wins and 26 losses. So they're not even quite close. They're 10 games below 500. And that says something. Now here's something else. On the season thus far, against teams who are currently in the playoffs, they are 4-17. Now, the Clippers are currently not in the playoffs. And the, and the Philadelphia 76ers are currently not in the playoffs. So, right there, both those teams are 9th in each respective conference. So, I mean, you can just see, that, I mean, based on our games against them, that might change slightly, but not much. But so the Suns are 4-17 against current playoff teams, and they still have 24 games left against current playoff teams. That's not a good, I mean, by that math, they should go like, 5-19, really, the rest of the way against current playoff teams. Now, they are 12-9 against non-playoff teams, of which they have 16 games left. Now, Raiders really got to watch a replay game and saw that he was really good guard. You're talking about Tyler Ulis, number 8? You think we should trade for Kemba? Absolutely not. That is my next topic, I promise. Well, it'll be very, very soon. We're going to talk trades. So I want to, somebody tell me, do you disagree with me? I want the Suns to be a playoff team. You listen to Gambo. Yep. We're going to talk about that. Could you see the Hawks trading shoulder? I could see the Hawks trading shoulder, but they want a first-round pick back, and, I would trade Miami's pick, but I wouldn't trade the Suns'. Suns are barely getting used to each other. Okay, so I'm assuming you kind of disagree with me on that sense. Let me pull up YouTube, just see if nobody's talking. That, it'll take a little bit of time for them to gel. I know the team members who will take them to the top of the game. My point, though, is just, it's going to be a long shot. There are 10 games below 500. Now, here's another point. In the past 5 years, 3 of the 8 seeded teams finished with a 41-41 record. Another finished 45-37, and a third had 49 wins. This year, it looks like a 41, a 500 team is going. They're this close, brother. The 500 team is going to be in the 8th seed. They're going to earn the right to get swept by the Golden State Warriors. At that rate, the Suns would have to go, let's see, 16, 26, 36. They'd have to go 25 and 15 the rest of the way. See, they almost have to flip what their current record is. They're 16 and 26. They would have to go 25 and 15, which is very much what the Miami Heat did last year, if you recall. The Miami Heat were vying for the #1 overall pick, and all of a sudden, their second half turnaround, they won 13 straight. I mean, they went gangbusters, and they still missed the playoffs. That's the other thing. And if I recall correctly, they finished 41 and 41, and it took 42 wins to get to the playoffs. So, you know, I mean, if they were to make the playoffs, even if they're gonna get swept, Suns versus Warriors, Suns in 7. Come on. So you're saying there's a chance? Well, I'm saying that history has shown that it's possible. Suns win the playoffs this year. Make a trade that'll impact next season. Push forward then. Okay, so then let's change the topic. Let's evolve here. I wrote that big post that apparently a lot of people loved. We got a lot of clicks on that, so thank you very much. I wrote that big post talking about if the Suns want to win and you want to go try to find a superstar now to pair up with Booker and, you know, hopefully TJ Warren, if you want to add that third piece to this roster, let's do it, baby. Let's shock the world. Who do you want it to be? Now, I looked at every roster of every team and I said, here's who's most likely to go. Here's what I think, you know, guesstimate would be the cost. And I make that abundantly clear. I have no clue. We have all been shocked and surprised by trades. We're like, really? That's how much cost? And that was it? Or, holy crap, they overpaid. But, you know, take Eric Bledsoe, for instance. I don't think anybody thought that Eric Bledsoe was going to get traded for a guy that's probably literally days away from being cut. And I say that just because they're starting to make moves. You know, they bring back Archie Goodwin, the Suns, that is. They bring back Archie Goodwin. They got Devin Reed on the way. They're going to need to make a move. If Suns make it, they make it. Just don't trade for an all-star and give up picks. Boogie and PG not available. Well, yeah, not available. But yeah, so Anthony Davis would be nice. So Anthony Davis, I think, is the ultimate. If you even, you know, I tweeted this out the moment it sounded like Anthony Davis might be available. I said if there's a 1% chance that Anthony Davis can be traded, you must take that as an absolute certainty and be the team to make that trade. The Suns have to be the team to make that trade. Obviously, you trade anything but Devin Booker. But you make that trade happen, because now you even if that involves moving TJ Warren, you make, and all the picks. You know, if that's all they had to do, if all they had to do was trade TJ Warren and literally every pick from now to 2020, I'd be just fine with that. I mean, hell, that would be a steal of a trade. I mean, that would just be an absolute steal. So we should sign D-Wade next year to help Booker develop more. That would be okay. I think I'd rather not waste that space on, you know, on him and just stick to Davon Reed. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm looking over and I'm seeing it. It's jumpy. I've never seen that before. This is new to me. So I don't know if that's just me or if that's your stream. So go ahead and, if you need to, just jump on over to Twitter and Periscope. Did we really bring back Archie? Well, yeah. See, the Northern Arizona Suns traded for him. They traded their first and second round picks for him. Celtics will always have a better offer than not necessarily. Anybody and anything but Booker, really all 11 players for AD. Well, there you go. Not necessarily that the Celtics will guarantee to have somebody better, because you never know, A, who the Suns might be willing to offer, and B, I'll be afraid to flip every pick all at once, and that's recently. Yeah, but the Nets made that mistake for two older guys. Anthony Davis is 24. I mean, I would make that trade for Anthony Davis. They traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. You know, those guys were already in their early 30s. They were hoping to win a title now and then let them all sail off into the distance. This is a totally different situation. If you were to be able to, you know, if you were to trade all of your picks to the Pelicans for Anthony Davis, I mean, you're talking about a superstar who's gonna be here for a while. That's two guys at the prime, and yes, exactly. Oh, and Jason. Oh, yeah. I mean, they that's right. I remember that press conference. They tried to stack the deck. They went for an all-vet team. They went for the 2001 Diamondbacks, and it just didn't work. Oh, D'Lo would have been nice. Lakers pick Tatum Brown. That's a good offer. That is a very good offer. But just know this. That Lakers pick is not guaranteed to go to Boston. If it finishes first or sixth on, it goes to Philly. It's Boston's pick, only 2 through 5, I believe. It's either 2 through 5 or 2 through 6. So if it happens to finish first or sixth and beyond, it's Philadelphia's pick. I mean, that's just, gosh, that's why I put that pick in our list of picks after every game. It just makes me sick knowing that could be the Suns'. That could be the Suns' with no protection. It was an unprotected pick. Anyway, All right, no one is coming here in Frazier's list. I want to make a Booker exclusive. What about Jordan Clark? Bring backcourt with Booker, I think, would make the playoffs, very possibly. And look at the Nets now. They have Okafor and D'Lo, and Okafor doesn't even play. We didn't make a trade for someone. They didn't make a trade, but not necessarily. I don't, rush a trade. Okay, and now here, let's. By the way, we're 15 minutes in. Please heart, please like, please retweet, please share, text all your boys. Be like, yo, this national championship sucks. It's the SEC again. Nobody cares. Come watch Belly the Suns live. Come watch Belly the Suns live. Join the conversation. Are we still after the Brandon Knight hype trend for the next year? I'm willing to give him a shot. I mean, you never know. I mean, he's basically a free agent point guard. You know, I mean, I guess. I say free in air quotes, but, I mean, they won't have to have given anything up for him beyond the Lakers pick, which we'll know by then what it was ended up being. We need to pass first point guard who can shoot threes. That seriously could be Brandon Knight. Which might be why, if I'm the Suns, I don't trade for a point guard. Because you're going, be Knight, you're stuck here. Be that guy. Why not? Knight is definitely... Not Lon Watson is worth a shot. Yeah, no, I agree. No, exactly, I agree. I wouldn't mind Sam wonder how he'll work alongside Booker now that there wasn't pressure. But Bledsoe being there. And it's the other thing. Not only no Bledsoe, but no Watson. And that's a huge deal. That's what really sucks about that injury is that there's a good chance that he was a good player this year. Does he make the difference to get the Suns to the playoffs? Probably not. But if it comes to pass first point guard, you never know. Maybe this offense just explodes, but doubt it. The team is still too young. None, because Ulis is not a starting point guard. He is not a starting point guard. I would be shocked if when he eventually leaves the Suns, if he ever starts regularly a game again. I would like a point guard to draft and trade for a big man. See, I would like to draft a big man and trade for a point guard. So, I want to bring up a couple points that Gambo made today on Arizona Sports 98.7. And I didn't mean to disparage him at all. I mean, again, he's a stand-up enough guy that he's not making up points. And I understand his point about wanting, number one, about wanting to play meaningful games in April. I totally get that. But, you also kind of have to look at the big picture a little bit more. He talked about trading T.J. Warren high. All right, if you're trading T.J. Warren, a guy that is on the verge of averaging 20 points a game, I have oft compared him to Cedric Ceballos. I believe that he's the perfect number 3 scorer for this team. They could get Anthony Davis and keep T.J. Warren. Those 3, I would rival up against the Oklahoma City 3. I'm not joking. Especially because I would take T.J. Warren specifically over Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, I don't want to trade T.J. Warren. I really don't want to trade T.J. Warren. I think he's just perfect for a core group. I think it's absolutely perfect for a core group. So, Gamma said trading high. Warren is a bucket, but bad for spacing. Okay, I'll tell you this. I do think that if he focused an entire summer on shooting threes, Chris Monroe is a cap filler, 4 picks for Davis. Chris Monroe, I get the Monroe part, and 4 picks for Davis. Wow. I mean, when you put it that way, it's a hell of a trade. Well, yeah, I would do it because you still get I would trade this year's Suns, this year's Miami. You're not allowed to trade next year's. Then you trade the 2020 Suns, and is it the 2020 or 2021 Miami? I forget. And then I would trade that one. And then they would get 4 picks. They wouldn't have yeah, with Chris, yes, absolutely. Warren, yeah. Throw in Milwaukee, so now we're talking 5 trades, or 5 first-round picks. I mean, for Anthony Davis, yeah, for Anthony Davis. Chris, yes. I mean, you're replacing him. Monroe means nothing. 2018 Suns, 2018 Miami, future Milwaukee, which will not be passed this year. 2020 Suns, 2021 Miami. For Anthony Davis, yeah. You're talking a lot of first-round picks. But you still have a 2019 first-round pick. Yeah, we should get Rondo for cheap just to save money. I don't know if I want Rondo at all. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. All right, so I'm totally off track. I want to get you guys' opinions on a couple things. I don't know. That's a hell of an offer to make a phone call about. Be like, hey, you got 10 minutes. Are you willing to trade Anthony Davis? We'll give you a potential cornerstone power forward. Teach him what to do. You'll get a cap filler. How much? 2 or 3 years? I'll look it up. And then you get 5 first-round picks. Yeah, I know. Should just Terry Rozier's the perfect guard next to Booker. Chris and And Butke? Or are you talking about and Butke? Oh, and Booker. Oh, Booker, Warren, Bender, Jackson. The big four. Booker, Warren, Bender. And then Anthony Davis, is that what you're saying? Booker, Warren, Jackson, Bender, and Anthony Davis? Hold on. I'm pulling up. Okay. Anthony Davis has, 3 years after this season. And his 2021 is a player option. So you could renegotiate. You'd have him for a while. You'd have him through 2021. And then I would renegotiate after 2020. You were winning in 2 years with that core. If you managed to keep Josh Jackson, February 8th, if I recall correctly. They pushed it up. I think it's February 8th. All right, so I don't want to trade TJ Warren. Gambo said he's at his peak, which I disagree that he's at his peak because I think he'll be worth even more next year after he shows what he can do this year. And, and now, I guess the argument would be next year they might be forced to trade TJ Warren because of Josh Jackson. But at the same time, I don't want to get rid of TJ Warren right now because Josh Jackson even next year would be the perfect sixth man. So I disagree with Campbell on that. Now, I also disagree on 3 of the 4 names he said the Suns could trade for. He wasn't saying, this was purely, as far as I understood his presentation of information, he was strictly just throwing out names. He was not saying, there's a rumor here. But he said Kemba Walker. I do not want Kemba Walker. And here's why. He's 27. Same age as Eric Bledsoe. His averages, 21.3 points, 5.8 assists. The same as Eric Bledsoe. Why would you trade for Eric Bledsoe 2.0? Oh. And his contract. It's very, well, okay. I'll give him this. His contract is the same. Actually, it's the same as Eric Bledsoe's. It's $12 million this year and $12 million next year. So you'd have to re-sign him in 2019. So you're only a year and a half away. You'd have to re-sign him. And he would be more than $12 million. And that would be a re-sign at the age of 29, which for a point guard, it's okay. That's not bad. His size is like Eric Bledsoe, 6'1", 172. It's a little bit smaller than Bled, but, in terms of girth. But, I believe they're both 6'1", correct? That trade just doesn't make any sense at all. And then, Bledsoe, 6'1", 30 pounds heavier. So you're getting a smaller guy. But he's the same player. I just don't like the Kemba, and I mentioned this in that big post. I don't like it. 5 assists? No way. Especially because they're going to want a first-round pick. And you know what? I wonder if I've got my Rozier. I've seen a lot of names I'd love. You guys are throwing out some really good ones. Where is Valley of the Suns? I know I had it open. Here we go. Switched devices. Who are we trading for hypothetically? Oh, welcome back. Kemba Walker. Schroeder, I would like. Now, and let me pull up his stats real quick. I would be better with Schroeder than Kemba Walker. I should have had his stats up. That was my bad. Give me 1 second. I'll have him up in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Schroeder I like better immediately based on age. He's 24. 3 years younger. His stat line, 19.8, just fine. 6.6 assists. This year on a bad Atlanta team. You give him Devin Booker, you give him Josh Jackson, you give him TJ Warren, you don't tell me he can't get up to 8 or 9 assists, and now we're talking about a 20 and 8 or 9 that's the point guard I want. 3-point shooting is iffy, and that's a problem. Currently this year it's 29.1. Now in the past he's been better. It was 34% last year. It was actually 35.1% his sophomore year. So it's taken a dive this year a little bit. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I don't watch enough of him. Oh, dude, I would trade for Porzingis in a heartbeat. That same trade offered for Anthony Davis. I would trade for yeah, and both, baby. Trade for Kemba this year and trade for AD next year. Starting lineup with Walker, Booker, Jackson, Bender. How do you make both of those trades, though? That's my problem. You're going to have to trade, I believe, for Kemba Walker. You're going to have to trade a first-round pick and a young piece. Now, is Tyler Ulis a young piece that they would take? They replace their point guard, they get a first-round pick, they move on for Kemba Walker. Maybe. But the only first-round pick. Honestly, I wouldn't even trade for Kemba. I wouldn't even trade Miami's pick. I'd be like, yeah, take Milwaukee because we just have no idea. Warren, Chris, all the picks for AD. Ulis too. I don't know. I mean, that's and Monroe. No CJ McCollum on the board. Well, okay, CJ McCollum. I hadn't honestly thought about him too much. Give me a second. He's only in his 4th year. He is in 3, 2, 1. He's 26. So you'd still, you know, 5 to 7 years of good prime. Here's my problem. If you're running him a point, he's never averaged more than 4.3 assists. That was 2 years ago. This year averages 3.3. Granted, he doesn't play the point. But I mean, I think he is a shooting guard. I would rather, yeah, and why would Portland give up on him? I would honestly rather Devin Booker run the point. His contract is massive, though. Snipes, it's even bigger than Anthony Davis. Granted, it's under the new CBA, but Rozier, we need Damian Lillard. Portland will never give him up. Yeah, no, I love Lillard. What does he throw out a package for? Well, okay, so let me, since I wrote about that, why can't I never find, here we go. Give me 1 second. I do want to pull that up specifically. I forget exactly what I said. The Suns in a side LeVar Ball. Hey, he's got an F rating by the Better Business Bureau. Come on. Let me just try this. There we go. All right, Superstar Post. Where are you? See, now Smart. I would take Smart. Young. Can shoot. I could see Booker at point. CJ at the 2. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Is I would want to see Booker at point if you're getting CJ McCollum. That's a hell of a backcourt. But what are you trading to get him? I am not a fan of trading for point guards. That's my problem. Trading or drafting. Like, you can find point guards. All right, so I'm looking for Anthony Davis, so I got to go forward a bit. We have no chance of beating the Rockets. No James Harden. You give me Anthony Davis and Devin Booker. You keep either TJ Warren or Josh Jackson. And you've got yourself a hell of a point. You've got yourself a team that could defeat Houston. All right, so my post, I said I would venture to guess that the players would be Chris or Bender, Jackson, and either Daniels, Prime Davis and Prime Booker. That's Shaq and Kobe 2.0. Agreed. Oh, yeah. I have not thought about from that perspective, Crispy. That was Crispy, yeah. I have not thought about that. You are correct, sir. I love that. Resign. I would resign Len if he's willing to accept a backup role behind Anthony Davis. I mean, there might be a team out there that says, hey, you're our starter, but you know, if all he gets are backup positions and the Suns are able to offer him something fair and it's like, hey, I'm going to win, I would love Alex Len back. I've been saying it for a long time. People have scoffed at it, but no, I've been saying it for a while. Okay, so I said I would venture to guess the players would be Chris or Bender. So you're splitting up that duo, the dynamic duo. Josh Jackson, and then either Troy Daniels or a point guard. So I'm saying two very young guys, either Chris or Bender, plus Jackson, and then Daniels or a point guard. And the reason why I said that would be like, would they take Cannon, or would they prefer Ulis? But I'm thinking 3 living bodies there. Either way, one of them is gone. Then the picks would be the picks then would be this year's first, Miami's first, and one of the 2 2020-21 firsts. So, I mean, I'm saying let's just put this package out there. Chris, Jackson, and let's just say Ulis. You could live with Cannon running the point this year. Plus the 2 first-round picks this year, and then the 2020 Suns pick or 2021 Miami pick. So it's 3 players, 3 living bodies, and 3 draft picks. That's a lot. Oh, I love, dude, don't get me wrong. I love Daniels. That's a lot. And again, this is just an estimation. I have no clue. He could be traded for 3 first-round picks. They'd be like, we don't even want any pieces back. We just want to go real young. They can also say, hey, we want Tyson Chandler. We want, Davon Reed because we love his two-way play, and we want, TJ Warren. And it's like, wait a second, we're going to keep Chris Bender and Josh Jackson? All right. I mean, you never know. The Suns might also be like, all right, we'll give you 1 first-round pick this year, but we still want another one, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I mean, I think it seems good for both teams, too. So that was my prediction. That was my projection. And again, I might have overbid a little bit, maybe, based on the Suns are going to have to top Boston, most likely. Boston will be they'll have a package for sure. So can they get value now? I'm afraid of flipping Jackson. I agree. I'm afraid of flipping Jackson. But for him, I would. Yusuf Nurkic, I talked about. I don't really want to give up on Jackson. He's looking really good. I agree. But, I mean, again, if you're getting Anthony Davis, you're getting Anthony Davis. So that's just kind of my thing. Now, okay, New York Knicks. Let's see. Somebody just said Nurkic, so that's Portland. So Portland is coming up. Portland, where are you? I'd rather give up on Warren than Jackson. Oh, that's fair. All right, I think Portland is right here. Okay, so for... Yeah, Nurkic. I said, let's see, if Portland... And forgive me, I wrote this a week ago. If Portland realized that they still need more pieces and didn't want to pay Nurkic what might be had for a young player and a protected first-round pick, say Jackson in Miami's 2018... Maybe even a swap of T.J. Warren and Tyson Chandler for Nurkic and Al-Farouq Aminu. To be fair, I don't think that Nurkic is a star, although he would be a nice piece moving forward, nor that the Suns want him, but I was trying to at least make up something here that might seem plausible. So I said, Jackson in Miami's first-round pick. That might be a lot, but it also... I mean, I think I'd rather trade Chris. Yo, Mr. Rich, what is up? Trade for Nikola. Again, I mean, remember, the Suns appear to have been interested in him over the summer, and the Knicks didn't budge. Trade Keith. I think he's the first guy to trade. I agree with you. Giving up way too early on Jackson if you trade. Well, again, I mean, I don't want to trade Josh Jackson. I loved last night's game. But let's kind of think about this. If you're able to get Anthony Davis, I trade Josh Jackson. P1 likely looking good. Have to 4-star. Yeah, you're going to have to give a talent for a star. Jackson has all the tools to be better than Warren. Possibly. But imagine T.J. Warren, if they take Jackson and not Warren, imagine having T.J. Warren a scoring, a small forward with Anthony Davis. I mean, that's a hell of a combo. Dante Exum, he'll be a free agent this summer. Short term. I wouldn't bank anything on him long term, but yeah, I would be okay with him. Booker and Warren are only not tradable. Oh, wow, you said Warren is not tradable. Ooh. I love the passion there. All right, I was trying to find Boston because I know that I talked about Smart. Because I said Charlotte. I said don't touch Kemba. Where are you, Boston? Oh, Brooklyn. Boy, I cannot spell backwards. Come on. By the way, while I'm pulling this up, please like, please retweet, please share. Let everybody know we still got 28 minutes left to follow this Suns live. I tend to go overtime, so there's always that possibility that we go OT, in which case we'll talk about anything that you guys want. I like to do a rapid fire. What the bloody hell is going on here? Show me my Boston page. Show me my Boston page. So is there any... Oh. Excuse me. I totally forgot. So somebody else that Campbell brought up was... Oh, I would love to keep both. Somebody else that Campbell brought up that blew my mind that he mentioned was Goran Dragic. Who out there... Lunchtime then. Who out there wants Goran Dragic back on the Suns? Now, I have no problem with Goran Dragic. So I'm talking to free agency. Booker and AD will be shooters. Well, then you keep Daniels. I have no problem with Goran Dragic. What I have a problem with is, again, his age. Okay, so they played on the Burns and Gamble show today. But no. They played a clip on Burns and Gamble today. He was on a national NBA podcast. I forget what it was. I forget who it was. And he specifically said the last time I was here, this year, he had a long conversation with Ryan McDonough. And he said, Zach Lowe, thank you, man. And he said the conversation went great. He said, I have no problems with Phoenix anymore. He goes, I never intended on forcing my way out. He's like, he had nothing but glowing, a glowing opinion of the Phoenix Suns. That doesn't mean I want him back. Believe me. But that changes things, and then also, he's only saying that because he knows his time in Miami is almost done. Maybe. Gordon's friend. But Gordon was always so great. And I do think that he did not intend on forcing his way out the way he did it. I mean, that always seemed a little like, wow, that was unexpected. He is what started the train wreck. No thanks. Getting Gordon wouldn't be too smart. LOL. So let's look at, oh, by the way, just should the Suns get Anthony Davis or not? This year, 25.6 points per game, 10.3 boards, 2.1 blocks, 1.8 personal fouls in 35.5 minutes. He's shooting 36% from three, 55% from the field. I want him on the Suns. The guy is a monster. He's a monster. I want him so much. I want him so bad. Alright, so let's pull up Dragic. Real quick. Smart can't shoot, Rozier can. Okay. Oh, okay, so Boston. Here's what I said for Boston. However, would Boston be willing to trade Marcus Smart for Tyler Ulis and Miami's 2021 first-round pick so the Phoenix could have restricted free agent rights to Smart at the end of the season and lock him up long-term? I mean, I said Tyler Ulis because they would want another point guard. He is not the starter. Tyler Ulis might be just fine as the backup in Boston, especially in that system. Tyler Ulis can't shoot, but, I mean, that'd be okay. And then you're trading the 2021 first-round pick. It's unprotected. So at least you've got a little bit of you know, like, ooh, you never know. Well, but that's the point. You never know. You get Marcus Smart. Now you've got your point guard. You really didn't have to give up too much. Smart is a monster defensively. I don't know. I would, like, if they managed to trade Ulis in that 2021 first-round pick, I would do it. Well, yeah, I've talked about this. I think I talked about it last week. He's got to make friends, though. You know, nobody wants Ulis. Don't say that. Ulis, I mean, as a backup point guard, I mean, he's starting right now. As a backup point guard, Ulis would be fine. So real quick, going to Goran Dragic. I don't want him back either. I have nothing against him, but let me pull up one name for next. But I just don't want him back. For starters, he's 31. You know, it's like, okay, he would not make the Suns playoff team this year. He's under contract for 2 more years. He's got a player option. The Suns wouldn't want him for 2.5 more years. He is averaging 16.7 points. That's mediocre for him. 4.8 assists, 4.1 boards. Again, I'm looking at basically Eric Bledsoe. Only not quite as good a scorer. Far, far superior three-point shooter. He's averaging 36% from three this year. I averaged 40% last year. So, I mean, you'd be very happy with that from a point guard. And maybe his assists can jump up to 6 or 7 with the Suns, just based on what they got. But it's not like Miami's a pushover team. They're 5th in the East. I mean, so they're not that great, but they're not that bad. And so, you know, I don't know if I would want him back. I just don't know that I would want him back, honestly. Especially now if you're going to trade for him. And then, you know, so then you give Miami their pick back. Miami can tank. You know what? I believe in my post I offered that Miami pick for something. Oh, I can't wait for Williams to come back. You able to bring a vet point guard other than Goran? Yeah, I just don't want to make a trade. You know, I'm not too fond of making a trade for a vet point guard. Because you've got Cannon. Cannon's doing okay. That's all. You just need a point guard. Can see Bender being successful at center. I can't. Not enough sauce. Nope. Hell no. Not enough sauce. All right, we are 38 minutes in. Please like, please retweet, please share, please heart. You guys are the best. I do this for you. Pull it up. Okay, that's Orlando. I was just talking. Oh, Miami. M-N-O. M-N-O. What about Aaron Gordon? What is his contract like? I'll look at it. You know what? I don't know about Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, a lot of people love him. I don't think he's anything special. Sincerely. Aaron Gordon's contract. Well, that's right. He's a restricted free agent of this year. Duh. He's in the final year of his rookie contract. So if you traded for him, you have to trade a lot because he's currently being underpaid, but you're going to have to then pay him next year. You know, he's 22, averaging 19.2 points, 8.1 boards. You know, you're kind of hoping that's what Marquise Chris will be in two years. You know, so do you make that trade? I mean, you can trade Marquise Chris, but do you make that trade and then, you know, and then just immediately start paying, whereas you could have 2 years of Chris growing and then have that kind of guy? Obviously, we don't know what Chris is going to be. We only know what Chris is and who Aaron Gordon is. But if he's a free agent, hope the Pelicans suck and they're willing to trade AD and then have a front. Who's a free agent? Aaron Gordon? Not sold on Gordon's shooting numbers. He is shooting. Oh boy, if Gordon and Davis. He's a restricted free agent. He's just on his rookie contract. Orlando's going to match anything. Imagine if we got Kyrie. I know. He's shooting 48.4% on the year, 39% from three. What's wrong with that? The dude's shooting 39% from three. 48% for a shooter. That's not bad for a shooting power forward. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Can I get... I can't. Yeah, no. His shooting numbers are just fine. Small sample size? I mean, 31 games. I guess it can drop. His second year, he shot 47%. You know, I mean, but think about it. He's obviously made... Oh, I had Dante Exum's stats up here. He's obviously... I get you. There's always a risk, but he's obviously made improvements every year. I mean, listen to these stats. 5.2 points, 9.2, 12.7, 19.2. He could be averaging 22, 23 points next year. Easy. Rebounds, 3.6, 6.5, 5.1, but now 8.1. You know, someone is just... He has 3-point shooting, 27, 29, 28, 39. I mean, there's just sometimes that, you know, those guys, especially with pro coaches, they realize, oh, wait, I hold the ball like this and I'll make it more? Oh, I do. Wow. You know, they just kind of figured out. Yeah, Brooklyn ain't let him go, but I would have loved him too. All right, Dante Exum, 5.4 points, 2.1 assists. He is 22 years old. He's obviously coming off of that, oh, wait, he's not playing this year either. That's right. Yeah, he's not going to play this year either. So I mean, if you're trading for Exum, first off, you're not trading for him. He's going to be a restricted free agent. Miami will probably tender him a small... Excuse me. Utah would probably tender him a small offer. I can't imagine it being more than $5 or $6 million for 2 years, maybe, just because, like, yeah, we like, you know, but you keep getting hurt. Remember, he missed the entire 15-16 season. He was hurt a lot last year, and now he's probably going to miss this entire year. Imagine a team of Clarkson. Oh, my gosh. No, now you're just playing NBA Live. Clarkson, Gordon, and AD with Booker and Jackson. He's basically... Well, yeah, he's basically a rookie, but he's basically a rookie who's missed 2.5 years of his first 4 years of play. So, yeah, AC joint in his left shoulder. Yeah, no, I remember. It happened against the Suns. Who fell on him? Was it Chris? But that's my point, though. I mean, it's like they're fluke injuries. Guys can, you know, obviously come back. And, I mean, think about it. Grant Hill had a great, you know, renaissance. But then at the same time, Danny Manning, always healthy. Boom, could never get healthy with the Suns. So, that, well, it'd be... It's just impossible to get. You know, I'll tell you what. If you can... if you can pull that off... I don't know if you play 2K or NBA Live. If you can pull that off... Oh, it's a flyer! I'm sure you're talking Exum. But, again, he's a restricted free agent, so Utah can match anything. You don't have to overpay. Alright, well, I'll touch Josh Jackson right now. If I didn't catch who said TJ Warren or... Let's go Devils! 13-2. If you can pull off an NBA Live or NBA 2K... A series of trades for agent moves, however you want to do it, to get Aaron Gordon, to get, who'd you say, D'Lo, and to get Anthony Davis, and you do it without cheating, please take a picture, tweet it to me. Tweet it to me and show me how, and, like, show me the moves. Show me how you did that. I want to know. How do you manage to pull that off? Because that would just be, you know, fantastic. All right, so let's talk Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson last night and Dragon Bender last night both had career games. Their best games, you know, of the season for both. Josh Jackson, obviously, of his career. Josh Jackson and Dragon Bender. Who did I say? I might have said somebody else. Oh, okay, so one player. So it was Anthony Davis, Aaron Gordon, and D'Lo. If you managed to be able to pull that off, send me a video, send me how you did it, send me a picture, tweet it at me. I'll see it. I would love to see that. So last night, Josh Jackson, and let me get Bender stats. Ba-boom. Jackson had was it a career high? It was not a career high. It was a second high, 17 points. Yeah, 10 boards. It was his first double-double. The best thing about last night is that it wasn't relying on Booker and Warren. I agreed. Their backcourt was D'Angelo Russell. Josh Jackson was a really nice floor game when he's going, yeah, he moves at 110 miles an hour. I love that. Way better passer than I thought. Dude looks like a .3. He sincerely does. You can't even offer anything without cheating for tape. Oh, that's my point. So that's my point. We know who he is, and now he's a point forward. Stats don't show great presence. No, I'm loving him. So it was his first double-double, his first career double-double, 17 points, 10 boards. He shot 3 of 6 from 3. And actually, I should have tweeted that last night. That was his career high in threes made. It was also his career high in threes attempted. Shoot, I did not notice that until right now. I'm going to have to tweet that out. He shot 7 of 19 from the floor, which is only 37%. So basically, I mean, that was not an efficient night of scoring. That was definitely just putting up and he made, so think about this. He was 4 of 13 from within the arc. That's a horrible ratio. What is that shooting percentage? He had a plus 34 last night. That was spectacular. But, I mean, it wasn't just him. That was Bender. That was, let's see, 3 divided by 14. Oh, excuse me. No. 4 divided by 13. Ugh, duh. Which means that was about 30% from inside the arc. He does miss a lot of shots in the line, and then he falls. He does. No, that's true. You know, you got to give him that. On the season, he's shooting... That was the core I've been waiting for. No, agreed. On the season, he's shooting 38.8%. I expect that to be up to about 45 next year. I'll bet you anything that goes up 7 points next year, and all of a sudden we're going, TJ Warren who? I would never say that. TJ Warren is my spirit animal. I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to stand by it. So, and then you flip it over and you look at Center Dragon Bender. Thank you for all the hearts. Please like, please retweet, please share. We're at 45 minutes, and we're going to go in another 15 minutes here. Bender, 6 for 8 from 3. His career highs in both threes made, and he tied in attempts. He went 5 for 8 against Minnesota on December 16th. He's fouled 2 out of every 3 drives. That's true. He's finished with 20 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 3 blocks. We're talking Bender now, 1 steal. He shot 7 from out of the field. So he was 6 from 8 for 3. He was then 1 for 2 from inside the arc. He actually didn't get any free throws. Bender does not get a lot of free throws. He needs to drive more. He hasn't shot a free throw since that Minnesota game. He has literally not shot a free throw. Oh, not that Minnesota game, different one. Since December 23rd. He needs to drive. Man, I want to see him in the post. I want to see him in the post. Hakeem works, my spirit animal. I love it. I don't like Center Bender until he can get bigger. Yeah, I know. He needs to add some bulk for sure. That's coming, though. He is better at creating his own score on the dribble than spotting up. You know, I prefer him not to dribble. He even brought the ball up once and had to do a spin move that was like the world's smallest spin move. It's not smallest, it's the world's... Oh, we got a super heart. Hell yeah, we're getting super hearts. I love it. That's actually really cool. I didn't know that's how that looked. Sweet, we got some super hearts. You guys are the best. Thank you. So he had the spin move. I don't know, but they look awesome. It actually looks really cool when it comes up. He had the spin move. Sorry, he was bringing the ball up court. No point guard staying behind for some reason. And he does the slowest spin move. And I was like, he's totally going to turn the ball over. And he almost did, but he managed to collect himself and get the pass off. Bender and Jackson will both improve. Jessica Lander fill out other than the great action. No, I agree. My point, though, is that I really don't want Bender dribbling. I do think that if he works on, again, if he spends all summer working on his dribbling, and I mean like every day, season ends, boom, back. Periscope does give you super hearts. I thought you were going to pay for them, to be honest. Otherwise, give me some super hearts, man. If he literally spent from the day the season ends to the day of training camp starts, every day works on his dribbling, works on his arc, gets more arc, which will be more consistency in his shooting. Twitter for life, bro. No, I love them both. I love Twitter and Periscope. I'm on Twitter every day. He looks like a baby deer. He does. He's almost like, I can't believe this is happening to me. It's hilarious, but he'll get there. I'm not too worried. I don't want him bringing up the ball often. You know, I don't want him to bring the ball up often, but when he does, he's got to be able to do it well. And then, so if he works on those two, his dribbling, his arc, which will give him more consistency on his shot, and then work on his post-up game, I'll bet you next year the dude is averaging double digits, and I bet you can average as many as 15 points. There's no reason why he can't, because the dude is obviously, as we've just said, he's got an IQ. He's a kid super high ceiling, way higher than Keys because of attitude. I agree, although you can't... Keys' personality has shifted. It really has. I'm really disappointed that he got hurt because I want to see him keep going. Or put a lot there. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought it cost money. So Bender this year is shooting 38% from 3. He's still only shooting 30... Boy, he's shooting better from outside than inside the arc. That's crazy. So last year he shot 27% from 3, 48 from 2. This year, 38 from 3, loving it, and 37 from 2. He has an effective field goal average of 51. percent because of his free throw shooting, which is now 75%, which is okay. But he just doesn't get enough shots inside. That's kind of the problem. And I've noticed this a bunch about his game. When he drives, I feel like he's afraid of contact. If he just puts his shoulder down, obviously you don't want to commit too many personal fouls, charges and so forth. But if he just puts his shoulder down, that dude is going to get to the hole. And he just needs to do what Marcin Gortat refused to do, just dunk it on people. How many shots inside of 15? Oh, boy. I think I can pull that up. How many shots inside of 15? Hold on. Play-by-play. Show more shooting. Inside 15. Field goal percent. Oh, boy. Well, okay, so from 10 to 16, 1.8% of his field goal attempts are from 10 to 16. 10% are from 3 to 10. 12%, really 13% are from 0 to 3. So 70.5% of his attempts are from 3. Perfect idea to get Chris Bosh as a player development role at ASAP. I would love to bring Chris Bosh in. I think it would be the perfect mentor for Dragon Bender. Honestly. Really. In fact, if you waive... Well, you'd have to waive Monroe to bring up Davin Reed. I mean, you don't have to. I just want to assume that's going to happen. They're going to, or trade him for a second-round pick. Yeah, I don't know how he wouldn't be able to play. He'd have to come in as some sort of a coach. And I wonder if he would do that. Think about this though: 70.5% of Dragon Bender's field goal attempts are from 3. 4% are from 16 to the 3-point line. So, boy, does he look great? Has he played yet? Crazy to have rather seen a turnaround. Jay, can you reword that? I don't understand. Bender bothered me a few games ago to the post up and try to do a running hook. Yeah, well, again, he needs to add those shots to his repertoire, because when he does, and then guys lacks off on his 3-point shot, then he can take that space to get around. I mean, I'll buy a ton of heart. I appreciate that. Just heart me up. I don't know what it does, but like I said, it actually looked really cool. I had not seen those before. Now, Josh Jackson, so he is now shooting 26% from 3. That'll go up. Again, I've compared him to Sean Marion. Marion shot 18% from 3 his rookie year, and he had that funny shot with the hitch. And I tweeted this out last night. Nobody responded. I really feel like Josh Jackson's hitched, because he kind of does this, is getting more pronounced. I do wonder if they're going to work on that this summer and just be like, dude, just push it up there. You kind of take a split second. Now, he doesn't really seem to have any shots blocked. In fact, I wonder how many shots he has had blocked this year. I haven't looked it up before. I know I've got that. He's had 32 of his shots blocked. But, I mean, how many of those were, not from inside? Shot form looking better. It's looking better. It's just that hitch just drives me crazy. He got stuffed dunking it yesterday, yeah. He has 6 and 1s. He has 123, let's see. He has 47 shooting fouls drawn. Okay, so he's been fouled 47 times on shooting fouls? Does that make sense? I guess, yeah, that would make sense. Jackson's shot not that bad compared to Lonzo. At least he isn't a set shooter. No, that's true. And again, I compare it to Sean Marion. Marion shot 18% from 3 his rookie year. It was like 26% his second year. I can pull it up. And then, it jumped up to, 36% his third year. And, from there on, it was high 30s. 39%. Yeah, so 18, 25, 39, 38, 34, 33, 33, 31, 33. And it actually dropped. So during the Nash years... Yeah, he was, actually, even before the Nash years. He was at 39 his third year and 38 his fourth year. I see Josh Jackson doing the same thing. And then think about it. Marion averaged 18% his rookie year, and then 25. Josh is already 26%, did I just say? So, he could be, 26.8%. He could honestly get that up to 28, 29, 30% this year, and then he could be well into the 30s by next year. He could be at 33, 35% by the end of the year. He's got to make a lot of shots. That's I'm not going to say it's impossible, but he's at 26% right now. He'd have to really go on a good 40% plus clip. Josh Jackson's a turnover machine as Harris affecting the shot. Josh Jackson averages 1.7 turnovers per appearance, and that's 2.8 per 36 minutes. That's not bad. 2.8 per 36 minutes. The team turns the ball over a lot anyway. You know, 36 minutes, his average just 15.4 points, 6.1 boards. Boy, that's just going to go up. I'm so psyched. You know, going back to that playoff discussion, I mean, as much as I would love the playoffs, how can you not want to get one of those dudes in the top 5? Over, under 30% from 3 for Jackson. This year, I'll say under. Under this year, over next year, and I'll say 33 next year. I'm absolutely going to forget that, but if you remember it, let me know next year. Tell me if I'm right. I do believe I'm right, though. He'll be under 30 this year. He'll be at like 33% next year. And if you're making 1 out of every 3, and you're taking, say, 3 or 4 a game, you're making a 3 every game. And boom, that just opens it up. Would rather want no Bama than a playoff appearance. Oh, I know. Gosh, I have no interest in watching tonight's game. Anybody watching? Anybody having on? Tell me what the score is? I really just don't care. 30 is a ceiling for this season, yes. Because I mean, it's at 26.8. No Bender and Chris to play together more. Oh, need Bender and Chris to play together more. That will happen if Bender's playing more center. That will happen if Bender is playing more center. Because Chris is power forward. And he needs to be a power forward. But Bender, I mean, he can stretch the floor like that. It's not going to work against Anthony Davis. It's not going to work against Cat. And we're going to need Tyson Chandler. But I'll take Bender against the smaller teams. If we don't pick in the top 6, I trade the draft picks. 4-star, yeah, if you can pull that off. If the Suns' pick is, say, 7th, and then Miami's is 20th, you know, what can you do? What can you do to get Anthony Davis? If you aren't making a trade, then I like the idea of drafting Trey and signing Capella. Capella would be interesting. What happens but Trey, that's going to be super high. What happens with Big Sauce returns if fans rotation occur? You're going to have some movement. Andre Drummond, I would love. I wrote about that too. I think the best thing for us is hoping that New Orleans doesn't make the playoffs this year. I agree. If they finish 9th, I agree. Because then they're not going to re-sign Boogie. You know, I would imagine they wouldn't, because they're like, obviously this didn't work. I would trade the farm for Davis in the draft. The Suns won against the Thundercats yesterday. Well, I know, we talked about that a lot. Yeah, I know, I would trade the bank. I would trade everything. I talked about that earlier. I mean, I have 3 players and 3 draft picks, or 1 player and 5 draft picks. I mean, we've had some options. Suns fans are willing to trade for him. Boy, Suns fans are willing to trade for him. So am I, believe me. I would not, under any circumstances, trade for Kemba Walker. He is just Eric Bledsoe 2.0. Does nothing for me. I would not, under any circumstances, trade for Goran Dragic. Does nothing for me. You're going to trade Biggie back. They're going, well, if they, boy, we got too much coming in. If they lose, I didn't see. Still got to play Golden State 4 more times. I think we'll be sure in the lottery. Oh, they'll be in the lottery, but it's how high? They signed DeMarcus Cousins for. See, now I wouldn't be against signing DeMarcus Cousins if you then make another move for a star. Yes to Davis, no to Kemba. Thank you. I agree. You know what? Gambo, I believe, also said Malcolm Brogdon. But the thing about him is that if you couldn't get him for Eric Bledsoe, what are you going to get him for? Oh, I absolutely want Davis over Boogie. 100%. But he is a star, and he's a free agent. So you could then hold on to everybody, sign him to a max next year, and then with your pieces, if you don't get a star, you can then make that trade. Now all of a sudden, you've got your 3 stars like that. Excuse me. Malcolm Brogdon. He's 25. Obviously, we are trying to get him, averaging 13.2 points. I mean, he'd be a good backup. I don't think, A, he's a star, and B, it doesn't make the Suns a playoff team. And again, and I wrote about this in that piece too, if you couldn't get Malcolm Brogdon in the Eric Bledsoe trade, what are you going to trade for him? I mean, what they want then? I think Malcolm Brogdon was a fair enough piece, and the Suns let him slip away, apparently. I mean, I think it would have been a fair enough piece to have been sent to Phoenix for Eric Bledsoe. I mean, but they wanted him too. Great. Yay, 13 points. You know, he's a great shooter, but I'll take Troy Daniels. Troy Daniels is, let's see, he's 25. Troy, oops, I can't spell. Where are you, Troy? Troy Daniels is 25. He is, where are you? 26. So he's only a year older. I mean, I'm going to take Troy Daniels over Malcolm Brogdon. I don't need 13 points. I want 3s, and he's shooting 3s. And per 36 minutes, Troy Daniels is 16 points. Malcolm Brogdon is the Thundercats I'm a fan of. That's why I tweet last night and say, wow, the Suns won. Oh, I gotcha. I see. Yeah, 15.6 points for Malcolm Brogdon. But that's the same. Give me Troy Daniels. He's here. I don't want to trade for Malcolm Brogdon. If Kemba did say Malcolm Brogdon, I just 100% agree. I disagree with Kemba. I disagree with Gordon. I disagree with Brogdon. I disagree with trading T.J. Warren unless you're trading for a star. I don't just trade him because, hey, his value is high, get a first-round pick. No, give me a star. Made off the bench. Yeah, I mean, just give me Troy Daniels. Why would you trade for a player that we already have? And a guy who, you know what, I'm stoked with him. I'm very happy with him. He had a bit beef with Devin Booker last year, and look at them together. I love that. I love that he had the energy, the guts, I suppose, really, to call out Devin Booker. I love that. He was wrong, but he did it. And then both he and Devin Booker said, yeah, let's play together, man. You know, I respect you. I respect you, too. You shoot threes. I score. You know, it's just, boom. It's just, why I wouldn't trade for Malcolm Brogdon because, again, if you couldn't get it for Eric Bledsoe, the hell are you gonna, what are you going to trade for him? Give me Troy Daniels. I want to keep Troy Daniels. I mean, and Troy Daniels is under contract next year. Malcolm Brogdon, too. So you're in the same exact boat. Can the Warriors sign Draymond, Clay, and Durant at the same time? Something has to be for agent, right? Nope, they can. It's like when Kobe recruited Barnes. Yeah. He's just the perfect counterpart to Booker. I love it. You guys are 100% correct. And yes, Golden State's going to re-sign everybody. Don't you fret. They're together for a while. They'll go $100 million with the salary cap and pay the luxury tax because they are going to win titles and they don't care. All right, so I'll tell you what. We are in overtime. We're at 1 hour. If you want to go to 5-minute overtime, rapid fire. What do you have to say? Trade him while he has value? Who? Trade who while he has value? T.J. Warren? NBA needs to fix that. I agree, but you know what? If it were the Suns, I wouldn't be complaining. And I hope someday sooner that it's the Suns. Rapid fire. What do you got for me? We hit on a lot of stuff, you guys. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Had a blast. We're talking playoffs. We're talking trades. We're talking Gambo. We're talking email Ryan McDonough and get Davis here. I will get right on that. I am GM. Ready to go. I would love to be. I would make somebody call and be like, I want him. Chris is injured, right? Hip strain. He'll probably be in a couple games, but nothing major I can't expect. We're going to buy out. Oh, are we going to buy out Monroe Philpin? I think that, I think they can get a second-round pick for him. And if you can, try a second-round pick. He'll help some team. Best draft prospect for the Suns. Well, you know me. What pick do you see the Suns getting? Still, I think they can still get number 5. Probably 6 or 7. They might have to trade up. So, you know me. I've been on the Doncic bandwagon for a long time. That guy's just a special player because of his size. He really is. Would I take Trae Young? Yes. Would I take Ayton? Yes. Would I take Bamba? I guess. Would I take who am I forgetting? Ayton, the other big, I forget. Yes. Will Trae Young? No. None of those guys mentioned will be available at 6 or 7. So, if you've got 6 or 7, and you've got 24, let's say 22, 20, whatever Miami's pick is, you've got the Milwaukee pick. I mean, you can flip those 3. Bagley, thank you. You can flip those 3, and I think a team, 4 or 5 would be like, yeah, we'll move down 2, get an extra pick, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I think you might be able to pull it out. Next game Friday. I know, and I think I'm going to that game. At least I thought I was. I got to make a text tonight. If I am, I'll be tweeting from the arena. Round it to the Suns. Doncic for a guard and Ayton for a big. Dallas, maybe that's a thing. I mean, it depends on if there's a point guard available, and they're like, we already got, Dennis Jones Jr., right? The ones who can't play. I mean, I would just take Doncic. I just hit the guy, can shoot, he can pass, and then you run a backcourt like Golden State. I've been freaking saying that for so long. That's what I want. Sports are all about, copying the winning formulas. Ain't no talent after 7. That would help us. Yeah, probably not. Dennis Smith. I said Jones. Dennis Smith Jr. Yes. Can't have Doncic if we trade for AD. No. Oh, well, I would take AD over anybody in the draft. If somebody said Anthony Davis, Trae Young, I'd say Anthony Davis. Bagley, Davis. Ayton, Davis. Doncic, Davis. Bamba, Davis. I would take Davis over all of them because he's an established superstar. There's no guessing who he will be. There's no guarantee that just because Trae Young, I was acting like we traded the pick. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, good, fair enough though. You got me ranting there a little bit. I would always take an established star over a draft pick because you just never know. There's no guarantee that Trae Young will ever be anything good in the NBA. How do we make the playoffs this year? You start praying, man. They got to win a lot. There are only 7 players who are really good. I mean, you never know. I mean, think about it. Where was Booker drafted? 13th. Where was T.J. Warren drafted? 15th. Where was Giannis Antetokounmpo drafted? 15th. Where was Kawhi Leonard drafted? I think he was 15th. I mean, there's got to be talent. It might not be this year that the guy 13, 14, 15 turns into a superstar, but the guy's going to be there. So I don't just give up on the pick, but if you can get a star, same with New Orleans, trade for that established star, Cuff, Warren Cuff. Okay, what do they want to give us? Their first-round pick? I mean, I'd want more than that. That's a fair question, you know, if they wanted to get him, but who? 15 and trade it for George Hill. Oh, I know, really? No, really, dude. No, really, dude, what? Let's say for the sake of argument that New Orleans said, hey, we want T.J. Warren. What are they going to give us? What are they going to give the Suns? Would the 2018 first-round pick be enough if the Suns really want potentially 4 first-round picks? Beside Booker. You know, I mean, and then what? You'd need more. Warren, Chris, and draft pieces for Davis. The draft isn't that good, to be honest. To be honest, Trae Young has no Curry. I hate the comparison. Jimmer did too. God, I mean, you can think of players all throughout history. It's like, wow, that guy looked great, you know, and then in college, and they did, and then, you know, and it's just, why am I drawing a blank here? Now, Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley looked. I mean, granted, Bobby Hurley is probably an unfair comparison because of his car accident, but I don't know. You know what? That I'm going to disagree with. Trae is better than Jimmer Fredette. I'd have to pull up Jimmer's stats. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. We are heading into double overtime here. Jimmer Fredette college stats. Jimmer was a shooter. He was just a pure shooter. Trae Young is averaging 10.2 assists, 38.8 from 3. Jimmer, and that's his rookie year. Jimmer had to play 4 years. Jimmer averaged 4.3 assists and 39% from 3. I mean, I would assume that Trae Young is better. I mean, because he's getting the assists too. Jimmer was a shooting guard. I guess they have him listed as just guard, but you know, I would venture to guess. My point though is that I don't necessarily disagree, just because the competition hasn't been that great. But at the same time, he's still getting 10 assists. No, I'm not surprised Suns are winning. I'm surprised they happened to beat Oklahoma City the way they did. I'm not surprised that they did beat. I'm surprised that they did it in the manner in which they did. But everybody has an off game. Let's see. Game logs right here. Trae. You know, he's had double digits assists in 3, 6, 7, 8 games. I mean, a game, I know, granted, it was Northwestern State, but he had 22 assists. He is a floor general, and he can shoot. You know, Trae Young might be less Steph Curry and more Kevin Johnson, but oh yeah, and the Suns are going to have a lot of hard losses in the future. And they still have 4 against Golden State. I went over this earlier. 2 against Houston, 1 against San Antonio. They have 11 games against the top 3 teams in both conferences. Wins like that attract stars against the Thunder. I mean, you'd hope so in free agency. But who's going to be available? It's going to be Boogie, and then you know, Kevin Durant, who's not going to be available. Kevin Durant is not going to be available. So we're going to pick in the top 10. Yes. The question is, are they going to pick in the top 5? Are they going to pick the top 5? Okay. Well, let's hit on this one last thing, and then I will let y'all go watch that college football game that I don't care about. If it's not ASU, I don't care. So they are 2.5 out of that. Let's see, 4. They are 4 games away from the worst pick in the draft, and they're 5 games away from the 8th seed. Now, to be honest, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to get to the 8th seed than it would be to get the worst pick. They're not going to get the worst pick because, I mean, Atlanta's not winning it anytime soon. The Suns do play Atlanta again. In Atlanta, they could lose. They still play another game against the Lakers. They could lose. They have 1 more against Memphis. They have 1 more against Dallas. They've got plenty of games in these lesser teams. They've got 1 more against Orlando. Have they played Brooklyn twice yet? They have another one against Charlotte. You know, so there are teams around them that they could still lose to. And if they lose to a couple of those and they lose to all the playoff teams, the 4 against Golden State, they have 2 against Indianapolis. They still have 1 against Detroit, Milwaukee each. They still have both against Cleveland. They've got a lot of losses coming. Remember, they are 4-19 against current playoff teams. They don't win. They have 12. They're 12-9 against non-playoff teams. You know, the Suns will win 1/3 of their final games. Book it. They'll win 1/3, so they'll win 33%. So they've got 40, so that means they'll win 15. 12? They'll win 12 games. That would put them at 28 wins. Hard home run on schedule, doing it on NBA 2K, sitting 7th with 6 games to go. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. All right, well, I'll tell you what. We are finishing up double overtime. This is a great show, you guys. I mean, you brought it today. That was so awesome. You guys just, I mean, we had so many awesome topics. So, you know, the Suns don't play again until Friday. We got a lot of posts coming up this week. The game is tied. Cool. I'll turn it on. I'll peek at it. I just don't care. Is it? Wait, it's not in triple overtime. The game just started an hour ago. It's probably second quarter. So we got a lot of posts coming. You know, if you've ever got, and I've written posts based just on fan suggestions. If you've got a post option where like, you know, hey, this would be a cool idea. I'm curious what you think. Boom, I'll write a story. Just shoot me an idea. Doesn't matter. All right. So in case you don't know anything, in case you know anything I don't know, we'll be back next Monday. I'm hoping to have a special guest. In fact, I'm going to shoot hard for a special guest. I've got one that I'm trying to get on I haven't been able to get to. I've got another one that I haven't reached out to yet, but he's about to get a tweet here in a few minutes. Yeah, thank you, man. Write a story about how the Suns keep Davis. That's not a bad idea. That is not. You're the man, dude. You're the man. I love you all. I do this for you. Please, just tell everybody, hey, go back and watch the replay and then join us next Monday. So, until then, see y'all later. Let's go, Suns.